Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to start with a beginner warm-up and then we will see if we can fit this chair into this camera frame in my tiny apartment. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to start on our mat, so you can choose to have either a rolled up towel. If you have one, just roll it up so that you can place it either as a pillow or when we do roll-ups later, so it will be on your back. Otherwise, you can get an ab mat, which is on Amazon for like $10 or something like that, which is super convenient if you need that for modifications. All right, so from here, go ahead, lay on down onto your back. And just let your spine relax for a moment. All right. Couple deep breaths, let your spine relax, and just get used to being on the ground for a moment. From here, you're going to bring your feet so that they're about hip distance apart and close enough to you where you feel like you're going to be supported once you start coming off your spine, which you'll figure out probably in a minute. We're going to start with just a little bit of movement from the hips so that we can open up that low back, which tends to get tight when we're sitting at a desk all day. And we exhale as we tuck forward, bringing the hips up towards the ceiling, rolling through your tailbone. Nice and controlled. 3 more here. Last one. Roll it back down. Nice and steady with the legs. Try to feel like you almost have a ball between your knees as you do this. If you do not have a ball, if you do have one, feel free to use it. From here, you're going to go ahead and pelvis, roll through your spine. Really nice and gently, and feel like you're lengthening towards your toes as you lift. We inhale at the top. We exhale as we roll back down, focusing on opening up the spine. Nice and controlled again. We inhale and we exhale to tuck. Roll through, lift and lengthen. Strong with those legs, hamstrings and glutes. Inhale, we pause. Exhale, rolling back down. Nice and controlled. The slower you go, the better it'll start feeling. Of course, it will be challenging the first few times. See if you can start relaxing your neck and shoulders. Sometimes it's even nice to just have your palms up. Helps with those who have tight shoulders like myself. Got 2 more here. And last one. And relax all the way down. Take a moment if you need to. Sometimes you might feel a little tight in your quads and knees. Just let it breathe. Let your knees fall side to side for a moment. Alright. From here, we're going to go into our spine twist. So your arms are going to go out into a T position. Palms will be facing up. Just make sure your arms are nice and flat and on the ground. You feel stable. As we do the movements, make sure your shoulders stay down on the ground. Next, we'll go to tabletop, which is 90 degrees or a little bit closer. Squeeze those legs together. From here, inhale as the legs go over to one side. And we exhale, bringing it to center. And we inhale over. Exhale, center. Inhale. And focus on keeping the knees nicely lined up so you're reaching both of your hips away evenly. And then slowly start to go a little further each time. Focusing on keeping that shoulder down as you go. Using your obliques to move through this. We have 2 more each. One more each side. Nice. Good. And let your legs go down. Nice and easy. Be mindful of your back if you start feeling any aches or pain. If at any point you do feel really tight on one side, just hold the movement and feel the stretch. From here, let's go into single leg lifts through your Maria leg at tabletop. If you do have issues with stability, say from an accident, or you have extreme back pain, feel free to move one leg down. From here, we're going to go ahead and bring the other leg up for those who are nice and healthy. And then from here, we're going to move from the hips, going down, exhale, going down, exhale up. Keep it on the same leg. Nice and controlled as we exhale when we lift. Last 2. One more. Hold it nice and steady. Go on to the other side. Be mindful of what your leg is doing. Trying to keep your hips nicely lined up. Abs are squeezing. Last 3. 2. And 1. Hug the legs in. Take a moment. Let yourself rock side to side. Let your back relax. I prefer to keep the tension out of the body as much as possible, so that at any point if you do start feeling any tension, feel free to take a break. Alright, from here, bring your legs back to that tabletop position, arms next to your sides. We're going to do alternating. So one leg down, exhale, switch. If it's easier to breathe where it's 2 movements inhale, 2 movements exhale, feel free to do that. Just be mindful of your legs and your back and keep the tension out of the body. 3, 2, 1. Center down. Relax. Take a moment. Rock a little side to side if you need it. Alright, we're going to go into our ab warm up, or part of ab warm up. So this one, I want you to be mindful that you do not have to have your hands behind your head. The other option is to do it like we're doing 100 prep, which is the arms are going to move with the upper body. So if you haven't done exercise in a while, or if you find that your upper back is really tight from being at a desk all day, or you're hunched over looking at kids and helping them pick up toys, feel free to do this version. The 100 prep with the feet down. We inhale to prepare, we exhale to lift. Inhale, control as we move. You might kind of notice that I tend to tense up my shoulders. And that is because I am really tight in my shoulders. Those of you who are nice and healthy, go ahead and have your hands behind your head and exhale when you lift. You can have it inhale forward, exhale back down. Makes it a little bit more challenging adding that little pause. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, move. Inhale, pause. Exhale, down. And if you could see where my legs are right now, they're still separated. And your gaze goes in between your knees, towards your inner thighs. For those of you who want to go a little bit higher, you can go ahead and stretch your legs, climb a little higher with your arms to assist you. Keep that tailbone down. And then lower with control. Let's spin for more like the 100th breath. Climb a little higher. 2 more. I don't know if you heard that, but my fridge just turned on while my shoulder popped. Relax it down. And just give yourself a moment to release any tension you have. Again, relax your necks and shoulders. You might even feel a little bit in your elbows. Your shoulders are extra tight. Might even sway your knees side to side if you felt anything in your low back. All these things are just, tightness, weakness, and overall just the body kind of giving you little indications of what it's feeling. And just little things you need to work on, so don't worry. They'll get better over time. Our rotations today are going to be a little bit different than my usual ones that I show in my videos. So we're going to go ahead and have our arms up and overhead. You don't need your arms down onto the ground, but you want it so that you can kind of feel like your shoulder blades are squeezing down towards the middle of your rib cage. So from here, nice and steady with the shoulders relaxed away from the ears. We're going to inhale. We're going to exhale. Lift. Climb your legs. You might even need to adjust yourself a little bit. Now stay lifted off those shoulders. We're going to reach over. Go to center. Stay high. Reach over. Center. Stay high. And over. And over. And focus on reaching and lifting. Your arms are there to assist you. So if you use your arms, A-okay. 1 more each side. And lower down with control. Let your neck relax, shoulders relax. Take a moment. And then from here, we're going to do 1 more set, but we're going to start on the other side. So if you started on the right, start on the left. From here, inhale to prepare. You exhale to lift. Keep that tailbone down. Go over, center, over, center, and over, center. Try to stay high in the middle. Anchor that back. One more each side. We're going to slowly relax it. And take a moment. Very good. We finished our warm-up today. So the last part is optional. If you do have extreme back pain or you're extremely tight, I would opt out to not do this today. So grab your towel, if you have your towel with you, and then you want to roll it up into like a nice roll, tight roll, so that it stays nice and steady and a hard surface. This is going to go underneath your low back where your arch is. And if you have, say, abnormality in your spine, like scoliosis, or herniated discs that are in pain currently, do not do this. You can do some pelvic curls, which we did in the beginning, so that way we don't open up your back 1 more time. For everybody else, you can start either with your feet bent here, and then you can keep them there if it's okay when you come up. Otherwise, you can go ahead and lengthen your legs out straight. So I'm going to start here and see if I can even do these today. I'm just going to bring my feet a little away. I have really tight hips at the moment, so be mindful. I am doing quite a bit of modification. Okay, from here, nice big inhale. We're going to reach for our hips. We're going to exhale and roll up on your legs if you need to. Put your arms forward. And it's almost like you're trying to reach over your toes. Nice big inhale. We exhale, go back down. You can bend your knees and keep your legs straight. But the whole point is going slow and controlled, not moving, using your body weight as like momentum. Take a nice big inhale. We reach for hips. We exhale, grab and lengthen. With control, reach over those toes. Nice big inhale. And we exhale, rolling back. For those of you who are doing pelvic curls, by all means, continue to about 5 or 10. And just focus on using all those leg muscles, using your abs to control the length of your spine. We'll do one more here if you're doing roll-ups with me. One more time, we're going to come up and just go to sitting. Take a nice stretch forward. And relax. Very nice. That was our warm up for today. And now I'm going to adjust everything so that we can get onto the chair today. And this is the Pilates Systems Pilates chair, which is created by the Pilates teacher training. So if you've done that teacher training, you know what I'm talking about. If not, this is a contemporary Pilates equipment, which is based on the classical ones, but adjusted to fit the modern body, which means a little bit wider seat and a little taller, depending, if that's just for you. But I find it really nice because we have a really high pedal, which is good. Apologies in advance if you will not be able to see my face during this, but the important part is seeing what my feet are doing. So I'm placed on a setting where it's about medium to heavy for me, and I'm 5'4", so I don't need a whole lot to make this heavy for me. Some people can go up to the top 2 spring loads, which is a 4'4" usually, but if you're not able to, do not worry. There's always a starting point for everyone. So I'm going to start here today. We're going to go for about 10 times repetitions, okay? So sitting nice and tall. Think length in your spine rather than straight in your spine. There's a difference between the two for some people. So from here, you want to be sitting towards the edge where it's only kind of like your sit bones. You can kind of tell because it's a little bit pointy. And that's what's going to be on the seat for this top part here, okay? Your hands can be placed here, or it can be out here, or forward. You can choose the challenge you want to do today. I'm going to stick with my hands here so I can focus on my posture. Chin up the whole time. You're on your heels, so the meaty part of your feet in the back. From there, make sure you have a nice grip. Your feet are parallel, and you want them to stay about hip distance apart, okay? So with this high foot bar and pedal, we want to make sure we don't bring it up all the way. So we're going to start about just a little bit higher than that. Take a nice big inhale. We exhale as we press. We inhale as we control. And we exhale as we press. And one of the things I always tell people is try to keep your toes relaxed. We oftentimes want to use our toes as we do this. But really we're trying to keep that little bit of tension in the ankle the whole time and try not to change it while being mindful of our back so we don't feel like we're tipping forward in our pelvis, which is your hips. Nice and controlled. Focus on slow and controlled. That way we're using every little muscle that we can. And over time we'll be able to bring more stability and more strength into this by adding some load to those springs. Be mindful of using your inner thighs a little bit. Last two here. That way, it's nice and balanced. One more. And control it up. Very nice. So from here, you're going to go onto your toes and try to have a nice good grip. And then again, tall through the spine. Heels stay up the whole time. Again, you're going to try to keep that little flexion that you have in your extension, actually, in your ankles as you do this. So bring it down to about a little higher than 90. Find your balance. Use those legs evenly as we press. Exhaling, inhale as we control. And exhaling. Inhale as we control. And as you do this, just notice what your body's feeling. If you have any tension, keep your mind away from any stresses that you have. Focusing on just yourself. This is your moment. And we're halfway through. We have 4 more. I'm shaking a lot today. I apologize if it looks funny. Last 2. Make sure you're using those legs evenly. And bring yourself. Very nice. Relax yourself. Take a moment. The option to also do this with your heels together into that front position, but for those of you with any hip pain and issues or a hip replacement of that sort, I would not do the small V's, okay? So from here, heels together for those who can. Exhale as we press. Control as we lift up to about 90. Another thing to use as a cue instead of 90 is think belly button. Because then it's a little higher than 90, but not too high. Now really keep a little tension the whole time. We're halfway through. Nice and smooth. Last 3. And 2. 1 more. Control it. You're going to bring your heels out wide as it's comfortable for you. If you have any issues, of course, you can keep your toes facing forward and just having your hips wide. Okay? From here, same idea. We exhale, press. Control as we come up. I tend to use one leg a lot more than the other. So just try to find that balance. Notice if your back starts feeling anything, don't go as low. If you feel like you're powering through that last inch or 2, go a little slower. Squeeze through the back of those legs into your hamstrings. And then that way, when you start reaching here, you start engaging your quads. 2 more. One more here. Yeah. Now we go on to our toes. So when you do this, you want to be mindful that you got to keep as much of those toes on, so all 5 if you can. Of course, with those who have wider feet like myself, sometimes my pinky doesn't want to stay down. Okay. It's sometimes easier to move a little bit more forward here. And with control, we exhale. So a lot of people will start to move their heels while they do this. Try to focus on keeping your heels exactly where they are. As we press down, we're going to use more into the inner thighs. through the spine. Relax any tension in your neck and shoulders. Try to keep your chin up so that you're always facing forward. Last 3. And 2 more. 1 more here. And we relax and take a moment. All right, hopefully you were able to see that. Feel like the camera might be a little blurry. The next movement, we're gonna go ahead and work into more abdominals. There won't be a whole lot of movements, so just be mindful that in general, when you use the chair, it is always an abdominal workout, just like most of Pilates is in general, so that way you protect your back, as well as trying to keep everything balanced as much as you can. Okay, so keep that in mind. From here, you're going to keep yourself either on tutu, or you can go heavier. Some people like it heavier, so it's more of like a stretch also for the spine on this next one. Then it's going to feel like a cat-cow while you're standing, okay? Okay, you're going to go behind your chair, stand hip distance apart, feet. And when you do the hip distance apart, think of your second and third toe from the big toe, and that's your 1. From here, we're going to do a half roll down. So we inhale, we exhale, we're going to roll down. We're going to reach our arms towards the pedal. And what you want to think is that your legs are your foundation, and they do not move from where they are. You're moving from your hip, and you're going to articulate your spine. We're going to go down into like a down dog. So the spine is straight and lengthened. Your neck and head don't do anything, they just follow. You should feel a stretch in your hamstrings and calves, maybe even your ankles. We exhale when we curl up towards the ceiling, opening up the back. Inhale as we lengthen. Exhale as we curl. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, curl. And if you have tight shoulders and your wrists are starting to hurt, go more towards the pads in your hands. And the control here with the abdominals is to resist those springs as you come up. That way you're still protecting your back, even though we're trying to open it up. Shoulders stay away from the ears, down into the mid-rib cage area. 3 more. 2. 1 more. You're going to let the pedal go at the top. And we're going to finish our roll up all the way. And relax. Take a moment. If you feel anything in your hips or your legs, let yourself walk it out for a second. And that way, we're not trying to restrict any blood flow or hurt any of our nerves that run through our hips. All right, from here, let's go into our next movement. So you can choose to have your spring setting on a medium high or a medium. And with the 2 springs, it really just depends on the machine that you're using, okay? So you feel what's more comfortable for you. This is for arm work. We're gonna lie so that our hips and kind of like the lower part of your abs will be on top. And then you're gonna bring your hands to the pedal. Okay. Now, if you need to adjust it at any point, of course, slide all the way off and then adjust it. Okay, So you want your belly button off, spine nice and straight, and try to bring yourself so that your shoulders are right underneath your wrists. Think long in the legs, long in your spine, neck and head just follow the body. Okay, try to keep yourself nice and steady, which is the hard part. We're going to go ahead and bend like we're going to do a tricep push-up. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. If you notice, I'm going to adjust myself so that my elbows don't get stuck. Jumps are some of you do as well. So just adjust yourself so you can still feel your triceps working, but trying not to get that nerve caught or tendon, whichever better may be. Last two. And one. Nice. You're going to slide yourself back a bit. And then let your wrist relax. And if you have really tight wrists, of course, take as long of a stretch that you need to. Pause the video when it's necessary. On to the next one, which is going to be more of that wider push-up. So it gets more into the chest. Bring yourself onto the chair. Bring the pedal back down. Line up your shoulders with your wrists as much as you can. Legs are nice and long. Okay, I'm going to bring my hands to the very edge of my pedal. And then I'm slightly going to turn my fingers more down. From here, the elbows go out. You press. Out and press. Keep the spine nice and long. Feel it into your chest and biceps. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring yourself back and slide all the way off and take a moment. The next setting will be for your lateral flexion and rotation, which I'm going to have it at a 3-2. I like it to be more of a stretch, and then that way it feels like I can go further, and I'm stretching out my glutes more. Nice. Okay, so for those of you who have the ability to do this, you can do this. For those of you who are not able to sit this way and let yourself go all the way to the side, like those who've had a hip replacement, I suggest you doing side planks and then just adding a little rotation to it, so that way you can open up your spine. Another option is to do the spine twist that we did at the beginning, so it's a little bit more beginner friendly. So you want to hug your leg across the corner on the top of the chair here, and then your ankle goes to the wooden area, and that's how you need it. Your hand can either go in the middle. If you have really tight shoulders, it can be on that more front center part of the head. Bring your hand overhead. We're just going to stretch first. I always like to stretch first because it kind of lets you readjust yourself. And you just try to relax your shoulders, which is the hard part usually. Okay, coming back up. Bring your hand behind your head now. As we push down, we're controlling the curl. Curling up with control and find your diagonal. Exhale, press. Control. Exhale, press. Control. And we have 5. Be mindful of your wrists. 4, 3, and 2. Last one, you're going to hold it down. Straighten your arms, find that nice stretch. And then rotate to your pedal and find your rotation. When you do it on the other side, it may be easier, it may be harder. Just be mindful of how your wrists are feeling and gently come on out of that. Alright, let's turn to the other side. I'm going to go ahead and rotate. There you go. And again, you're sitting sideways. And then you're going to hug your ankle to the wooden side of the chair. And you're right against the edge. Here at the top. Bring your hand where it needs to be. If you do have a shoulder injury, you may need to go lighter on this. Bottom foot is pointed or it can be attached fully, whatever is best for you. Some people will tend to get pain when they overpoint their feet. Go ahead, go side over into your stretch, arm overhead. And come up nice and easy. Bring your hand behind your head. With control. You're going to exhale and curl over. Control back to a diagonal. Exhale, curl over. Back to a diagonal. Focus on using your obliques. And keep your shoulders out of the ears. Strong in your arm. Last 5. And 4. We have 3. And 2. 1 more. And control it up. You'll find that nice stretch. And you realize I did that different on the other side. And then find your rotation. And this is my tighter side. So I can't go as far. Slowly come on out of that. And take a moment. Very nice. Okay, so we are going to finish this off with our back work. I'm going to turn this way so you have more Okay, so back extension work, you can choose to be on a heavier spring setting. I like to be on a medium light, so it's a little bit less than a medium for your chair, whichever that may be, which could be a 2-3, 3-2, or a 2-2, or a 3-3. Heavier, of course, is a little bit harder on just the arms, but it does help you to get a little higher. So for those of you who do not have full ability to extend backwards, for those of you who have disc issues, I would suggest doing a different exercise if that is suited for you. And just be mindful of what your back is feeling. Of course, you can do just your upper back through, or just focusing on doing the mat work back extensions, which is posted in some of the videos that I have. Okay? So bring your hips on. Grab your pedal. Press it down. And you want, again, your hands and wrists lined up with your shoulders. Okay, this is our swan prep. So you're going to curl your spine, starting from the crown of your head towards the ceiling. So we lift and we curl. Keep your pelvis down. Control as we lower. And as we lift, we're just going to try to open up our collarbones. Chest goes forward. And we go where it feels comfortable for your back. And squeeze your abs as you do this. 3 more. 2. Last one here. Lower down, slide back, and take a moment. You can go ahead and rest yourself forward with your arms nice and wide on the chair. Getting yourself a little bit of a shoulder stretch. You can bend your knees a little deeper. Take a nice big inhale. You're going to exhale, roll yourself up. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that little workout. That was mat warm up with some chair work today. A very nice beginner-friendly workout. Of course, there's some modifications offered for those of you who do need it. If you do want more of a personal approach to your routine, feel free to reach out to me on my website, pilatesinlosangeles.com, or through Instagram, and I'd be happy to assist you with any modification, exercise ideas, or helping you just build a routine so that way we can help you have a lifelong health routine for the future. So, hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.